In modern warfare, power no longer needs to be loud. It can be precise, measured, and controlled, not defined by scale, but by intent, and increasingly by the ability to see, decide, and act before chaos takes hold.
We are in the era of change. You see the war in Ukraine. No one would say FPV drones would play such a significant role before the war. No one would guess that, but things are changing very rapidly. A small device with a very low cost, with a high level of electronics and software can change the game. So we are after these game-changing technologies within the country.
And when technology meets vision, it becomes doctrine. Not only about how wars are fought, but how they are contained, managed, and prevented from expanding. Before doctrine, there is design. Inside production lines, precision is engineered. Airframes shaped for endurance, electro-optical sensors calibrated for clarity, secure data links enabling real-time transmission, flight control systems balancing autonomy with human oversight, and software continuously refined to process, track, and prioritize targets with increasing speed and accuracy. From platforms like the Bayraktar TB2 to more advanced systems such as Akinci, each generation reflects a shift towards greater autonomy, longer endurance, and deeper integration of intelligence.
Bayraktar TB2 is doing what it's supposed to do, taking out some of the most advanced anti-aircraft systems and advanced artillery systems and armor vehicles. That's what it was designed to do. That's what it did in Karabakh and all the different theaters across the world.
For years, capability came with conditions, access came with limits, and dependence meant that critical decisions were not always fully sovereign.
Biliyorsunuz ki Türkiye uzun yıllardır bir terör sorunuyla karşı karşıya kaldı. Terörizmle mücadele etti ve Türkiye'nin egemenliği, toprak bütünlüğü ve güvenliği tehdit altındayken maalesef müttefiklerinden askeri teknolojik anlamda zaman zaman beklediği desteği alamadı. Dolayısıyla terör örgütlerine mücadele ettiği zaman bir ihtiyaç olarak ortaya çıktı savunma sanayi alanında kendini geliştirilmesi.
What began as necessity became autonomy, and with it, greater strategic independence and stronger diplomatic leverage.
Turkey used to buy 80% of its defense capability from foreign sources, mostly from the US. The United States prevented sales to Turkey on the grounds that some of the equipment might be used against certain groups, terrorist groups that Turkey was going to possibly use them against. And this spurred what I call a sovereignty of defense capability movement. We see this in other places, but I don't think there is any example anywhere in the world as dramatic as that of Turkey. So from importing 80% of its defense capability, many estimates suggest now it's importing just 20% of its defense capability.
The development of unmanned systems has driven advances in software, sensors, and communication technologies. These systems combine surveillance, targeting, and real-time data transmission into a single operational framework. Drones did not just change capability, they changed awareness, they changed timing, they changed how decisions are made before action even begins. Persistent surveillance, precision targeting, real-time intelligence.
Warfare has found that drones have been a great threat. So armored warfare is obviously involving tanks or armored personnel carriers, and they are particularly vulnerable to drones.
Before global attention, there were early signals, conflicts where drones reshaped the battlefield, not through overwhelming firepower, but through constant presence and selective engagement.
Several lessons emerged in Syria and Iraq And one of the lessons, which I'm not sure many people have taken on board, is the fact that ISIS or Daesh was amongst the first organizations to arm small drones. So quadcopters, they were attaching grenades to them and dropping them on their enemies with devastating effect. Another lesson was that whilst the ISR systems, the intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance systems, were very effective at identifying targets and at very rapidly eliminating them using precision munitions where necessary.
Then came Karabakh, where speed and precision reshaped the outcome.
Karabağ Savaşı, 2. Karabağ Savaşı öncesi ve sonrası Türkiye savunma sanayi alanındaki Azerbaycan'la işbirliği bu dengeyi Azerbaycan'ın lehine değişti ve savaşın 44 gün içinde Azerbaycan'ın lehine sonuçlanmasını önemli ölçüde etkilemiş oldu. Cephede savaşan Azerbaycan askeri, Şuşa'yı işgalden kurtaran Azerbaycan askeri ve ona destek veren Türkiye'den savunma sanayi alanında getirilen, satın alınan ürünler çok büyük rol oynamış oldu.
A faster conflict, a shorter timeline, and a clearer connection between battlefield dynamics and political resolution.
One side, the Azerbaijan side, was using Turkish and Israeli drones in a way that the other side, the Nagorno-Karabakh, the Armenian side, was not. And that gave one side great advantage in terms of tempo. In just a few days, they were able to eliminate many of the forces of the other side. They were able to eliminate attack many of the military sites with precision and leading to destruction of capability. And this forced an asymmetric situation which accelerated the peace process. So again, with drones, where you have asymmetry of capability, you can get very significant and rapid tempo of movement, tempo of destruction, and indeed advantage both on the ground as well as diplomatically for a ceasefire.
Drones allow for continuous surveillance and rapid engagement of targets. This limits the ability of opposing forces to move undetected or regroup effectively on the battlefield. Targeting supply routes and fuel convoys has become a key tactic. Disrupting logistics can slow or even halt advances, reducing the operational effectiveness of ground forces. The combination of real-time intelligence and precision strikes increases the tempo of operations. This can shorten conflicts and, in some cases, accelerate political and diplomatic outcomes.
It was so symbolic that Ukrainians have even begun to write songs.
Bayraktar.
Ukraine made it visible. Systems like the TB2 became symbols of this shift on the battlefield and beyond it.
It's a big part of work when sky is safe. Turkish Bayraktar drones in the initial part of war was extremely helpful.
Саме байрактари являлися ахілесовою п'ятою, тому що байрактари розбили, попали саме в ахілесову п'яту, просто знищили поняття панцерштрасе. Тобто, як була в німців, у росіян ми бачили ці колони провізії пального, які їхали за їхніми передовими колонами. Відповідно, байрактари знищували, по-перше, що колони, по-друге, що знищували провізію, що немало важливо, і всю логістику і забезпечення цих колон передових механізованих батальйонів, які летіли вперед з метою заходу в ключові міста України. Відповідно, техніка, яка зупинилась, це в пащі льва знаходиться ворог. Тобто тут повинна якоби була б перевагою швидкість, мобільність. Байрактар це все діло перевернув з ног на голову.
Thanks very much for your your support and people of Turkey.
The impact moved beyond the battlefield. It entered daily life. It entered language. It entered culture. They became part of how people understood the war itself.
In the early days, it was the Turkish drones that were attributed to many of the successes that Ukraine had in stopping the advance of the Russian forces.
Within NATO, the rapid evolution of drone technology is reshaping how allies think about security, not only in terms of capability, but integration, coordination, and shared responsibility. Turkiye's role is no longer only operational, it is structural.
To NATO, Turkey is a very committed ally, is a fundamental one. It has the second armed forces in terms of magnitude. It plays an essential role in many areas, contributes to all of our missions in essential ways. Indeed, when you talk about the southern neighborhood, which is under my responsibility, they're basically a key ally in everything they do. And they're key because of the things they put on the table, not just the commitment, that is of course essential, but also the ability of the armed forces, extremely professional, and the capacity of the defense industry that is only growing and getting better and better. We count very much on that capacity, both of the armed forces and the defense industry, to continue to provide for the needs of the alliance.
Now, the next phase is emerging. Recent developments, such as the K2 loitering munition system, highlight this transition. A new generation of unmanned platforms integrating artificial intelligence into navigation, targeting, and engagement, capable of coordinated swarm operations, sharing data, and adapting in real time over extended operational ranges. New generation systems are incorporating artificial intelligence to assist in navigation, target recognition, and decision support, improving speed and accuracy in complex environments. Multiple drones can now operate together, sharing data and coordinating movements. This enables wider coverage and more flexible responses during missions. Advances in endurance and communication systems are allowing unmanned platforms to operate over longer distances, expanding their role across different theaters and scenarios.
Bizim kimsenin bir avuç toprağında gözümüz yoktur. Tahakküme dayalı bir güç ve nüfus peşinde asla değiliz. Tek derdimiz, bölgemizle birlikte küresel barış ve güvenliğe, huzur ve istikrara en yüksek düzeyde katkı sunan bir Türkiye inşa etmektir.
In the age of precision, power is no longer defined by destruction, but by control, by restraint, by the ability to act without escalation. Turkey's drone doctrine is not built on war as an objective, but on shaping outcomes before conflict spiral and limiting the space in which war can expand. Because in the end, the most powerful technology is the one that limits war.